I
All right,
just went
guys.
ahead and started the recording. I'm good. I hope it's fine.
Yeah, it is perfectly okay. Let me share symbol achievements. Yeah, this one. So, guys, till now we started the second chapter, which is ABAP programming, and in this second chapter we discussed some basic concept like what are the some basic features of our ABAP editor, where we are actually going to write all our programs, right? So now we have seen three kinds of data object already: variable, constants, and text symbol. Variables are a kind of data object whose contents can be changed, and we define them using the data keyword. Then we have the constant whose value cannot be changed, and it is defined using constant keyword. Then we have the text symbol, which was declared inside the program. Sorry, it was not declared inside the program, but it was defined as a part of text element, and we can directly use them using the text keyword, right? So with this, our next topic is parts of program. Very first topic of today, parts of program. So can you guys tell me what is a program? What is a program? If I have to define this thing, what is a program? What will be a genuine answer for it?
Maybe something to run a function or perform some algorithm.
Okay, perform some algorithm. That's a separate thing. But what is a program? You telling a function of program. But what is a program? Can I say it is a set of code or bunch of code?
Hmm.
So a set of code which is written to perform a particular task. Particular task. It can be anything depending upon the developer why they have developed this particular program, so it can be anything. Now parts of a program, what do you think? If I have to divide a program into parts, can I say that its first part will be input, where it is taking some input from the user? Second part is the logic part, which has been written by the developer, and based on this input, that logic part will work. So it is called as processing logic. And the third is output. So once all the processing part is done, based on that processing part, a output is created, and that output is then delivered to the user, right? So input. It is it is used to take input from the user. Now in our ABAP programming, to take input from the users, we use parameters. Guys, please focus on it. Parameters and select options. Parameters and select options are used to take input from the user. We will discuss this thing in detail in the upcoming session. But for now, just for knowledge part, these two things are used to take input from the user. Then we have the processing logic. So in this processing logic, based on the input, it is used to perform operation operation over the inputs given by the user. Over the inputs given by the user. And then we have the output part, which is used to show the final result to the end user. Okay, is this thing clear?
Yes.
Hmm.
Now In this very first chapter, we will discuss about classical report. So I'm just writing a thing. In case of classical report, write statement is used to display the output to the end user. Okay, we will discuss it what is classical report and whatever things are there. But for now, just this much. Okay, so let's go to our server, and what I will do is I will create a program here. So I'll go to SE38 and I will create a program. Let's see, where is your okay. So let's give a program with start. First program we created this one, right? No, not this one. Let me check this one. Okay, there is nothing. All right, let's create it. Z sum of two numbers. Okay, let's start with the very first thing. Sum of two numbers. That will be more okay. Sum of two numbers. I just want to create a program which will take input of two numbers and it will give us the output. Okay. So I will go for create button. As usual, I will provide a title here. Let's say sum of two numbers program. And in the type executable, press enter, assign the package and transport request. Now, how many parts of program are there? Input part is there, right? We have the processing logic part, and then we have the output part. But before all these things, we will be required to define our variables, right? Because variables are the containers which are going to store the actual data. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So first we will define our variables. Let's say creating input variables first. So we will require two variables because I have to perform sum of two numbers. So how do we define it? We define it using data keyword. So I will use data keyword here. Let's say I'm giving a variable name LV input 1 for local variable input 1. I am giving its length as 2 and type numeric n. Then I'm defining second variable LV input 2. This time again length 2 and type numeric. Two input variables I have defined here. Then what I will do, I will define here a output variable. So let's say creating output variable. These are the comments. I believe you guys know it now, right? These are the comments. So let's define our output variable LV output, and sum of two numbers can go up to 3 lengths. So let's say its length be 3 and type numeric. Defining part is done. Now we will move to our parts of program. First, input part. So for now, I will directly provide here default input. Later on, we will discuss it, parameter and select option and all those things. For now, just let's try to understand how our program execution actually works. So here I will take input. So let's say I'm giving input LV input 1 equals to 20 and LV input 2 equals to 10. Simple input. I'm just providing here two inputs. Then we will have processing logic part, which is the second part of program. Processing logic. And I will give here LV output equals to LV input plus LV input 2. Input 2. Once this thing is read done, I will give here output. So We use write statements, right? And let's say I will display a text. The sum of the two numbers equals to, and then the value, uh, LV underscore output. Can anybody tell me when I'm going to click on execute button, what will happen now? How the flow of program is going to work here?
Yes, so I think first the input, the local variable input one, will be assigned with the value 2, and then the
To
input 2.
where
I'm
I'm
sorry.
assigning its
Huh,
value to.
sorry, I messed up in the beginning because
Okay,
the
okay.
data LV input 1, uh, maybe it's a good question. In the round brackets, the values 2, is it initialized with this value, or does it mean it's like it has up to uh, from 0 to 99? Okay.
Can you please repeat?
Yes, here on line 9, you have the local variable input 1, and in round brackets, there's the value 2. Value 2. I'm
It's
not really
about
sure.
length. Its length I am giving a
That's
two
the length.
digit.
Okay.
If you like, you do not want to limit it up to two digit, you can simply give here a type integer or other things like natural number and all thing. Okay. So if you
Okay.
want, let's just remove it and give here integer. Now we no longer required to give a length because integer by default will take the default length that will be given to it. Okay.
Okay.
But just for now, we are trying to understand how we will define variable. So let it be. Just try to go
Yes.
from the basic part, right?
Mhm. So those
So
two variables,
yeah,
yeah,
then
get declared.
yeah,
They're getting created, and then the output variable, and then you are assigning the value 20 to input 1, and
uh-huh.
the value 10 to input 2, and then they get added together and assigned to the output, and then you are writing the output variable. So there should be the result 30.
Mm-hmm. Okay. See, whenever we write any program now, that is as a developer perspective, we know how things are working. But how system is actually seeing it, we will have to check it. Okay. And that is why a thing called debugger come into the picture. Do you know what is a debugger? You might have heard debugging
Yes.
and all kind of stuff. So debugging is used to understand the flow of program, flow of data in the program. Okay. For being a developer, this is the most important thing. We must know how to debug our code. If we are not good at debugging, it doesn't matter how we good at the concept. Debugging is very crucial. Okay. So let's go to our program and let's see how this thing is going to actually work. So first important stuff, always activate your program. And once activation is done, then from where you want to start the debugging, simply put the debugger. Definition will never go into debugging mode because we are only defining something. Once you are passing some input and performing some operation, then you can start the debugging part. So here I will put my debugger. Just I will click here and you can see session breakpoint was set. Now what will happen is when I will click on this execute button, my compiler will stop at line 17 in the debugging mode. We will go to debugging mode and my compiler will stop at line 17. Okay. If you don't want to use this thing, just click on this one and you can also use this thing also. It will also put a debugger over here. Same stuff. Totally up to you that you want to directly click over here or if you want to select this one, it will put a debugger over here. Now when you will click on execute button, you can see here we went to debugging mode, ABAP debugger at line 17. Is this thing clear?
Yes.
Now in this debugging mode, always go for desktop 3 because its view is a little bit big and we can directly check the values of data, how it is being flowed. You can see here We are at line 17. My compiler has stopped at line 17. So if you will check on it, just double click on any variable, you can see LV input 1. Its current value has not been assigned yet, right? Because we are at line 17, this line 17 has not yet executed. If you want to execute it, so for line by line execution, we click on this icon F6. Just click on it and see what is its value now. 20. Line 17 has been executed. 20 has been assigned through LV input 1. Now double click on LV input 2. You can see here it is yet not, no value has been assigned till now because my compiler is now at line 18. If you will click on LV output, you can see here there is nothing in it. Compiler will always start from line 1. It will go like this way, and at the place where you will put the debugger, your screen will stop in debugging mode. You can see here we have the value 20 in LV input 1. Now just click on this F6 button. Just click on F6 button and you can see 10 has been assigned to LV input 2 now. 10 has been assigned and we are at line 22 now, right? So if I will click on F6 again, see here 20 plus 10 equal to 30. 30 is now in LV output. This is how your operation actually performs. And now this write statement will execute, this text will be displayed and along with this variable value. So if you want to see the final output, just click on this continue button and see. Is this thing clear, guys? How we go for debugging mode, how we check our values.
Yes.
Just one question, or maybe we see this also in the next classes or the next.
Debugging?
No.
Yeah,
The last. No. I'm sorry. The last two statements, right? And you've separated it in two lines, but it was displayed in one line. So can we
okay.
also?
I will just explain right now. Just wait for a couple of seconds. Okay. The reason of as separating this variable is something I just want to explain. Okay. So one thing is that when I'm going for execute button, you can see here, I am getting the output in the same line, right? I'm getting the output in the same line, but I have given my variable, used my write statement separately. Still, I am getting both the output in the same line. The reason is, if you want, the reason here is, just see here, guys. If you want to display your output in a new line, you are required to use the slash operator. Okay, slash operator. So if you want to display this output in a new line, you can place here slash operator. And now click on activate and click on execute and see here. This write statement is now being executed in the next line and you are getting the output in the next line. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So slash operator is used to give a new line. Now after that, we have got a very beautiful concept also known as chain operator. Anybody know what is chain operator? Or you can say colon. Okay, colon. Chain operator. Just tell me, guys, I am defining, let's say 1000 variables, and is this a good way to use data keyword every time? Because I know that I have to define a lot of variables again and again. Here I am displaying a lot of multiple statements. But is there any other way to simply combine this both the text together? If I know I have to display the same thing, why I am using write statement multiple times? Why I am using this data keyword multiple times if I have to define multiple variables? Can I not simply combine them? Can I not simply combine them? So this is the use of chain operator. Chain operator is used to combine the statements. Combine the statements. See here, guys. This one is a single statement. This one is a single statement. This one is a single statement. So instead of defining data multiple using data multiple times, what I can do now is I can simply remove this data keywords. I can simply remove these data keywords from here. Let's just remove it. And after this data, you can use chain operator and remove this full stop sign, full stop sign. Just use the comma here. So because of this chain operator, now you can combine multiple statement together. Now this has become a single statement, right? Is there any error? Is there any error? No syntax error found.
No.
You can combine multiple chain operators, and now see, we are no longer required to use data keyword multiple times. I can simply define multiple variables using this single data keyword, right?
Mhm.
Is this thing clear? Same thing we can do for with this write statement. Just give here comma, and here we will give colon, and just remove this thing. See, still this thing will be printed in the next line because I am using slash keyword. So no syntax error, activate, execute. Okay, okay. Is this thing
Yes.
clear? Something new,
Yes.
right? Now you can see here, this was the title of the program which we have given in our while defining this particular program. So if you want to change it, all the thing is already there into its go to and attribute section. Just go there and you can change everything. Let's say I'm defining first program only, and just activate it and go for execute. See this time the title, first program. So whatever thing you are going to give here, that thing will directly be available over here. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So much silence, guys. Is there any confusion?
No, it's clear.
No. Mhm.
Okay, that's good. Now let's move on to next topic then, if it is clear. The second topic is conditional statements. Can anybody define it? What is conditional statement? By simply watching this terminology, conditional statement. If I have to simply define it, can I just say that a statement that will execute based on a particular condition,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
So conditional statements allows us to execute a block of code if a certain condition is met. When a certain condition is met, then at that particular time, these conditional statements allows us to execute a block of code. And in our SAP ABAP, we have two types of conditional statement. We have two types of conditional statement, out of which the first one is if statement. Then we have the second one, which is case statement. Okay. If statement and case statement. Conditional statement allows us to execute a block of code if a certain condition is met. So let's say if I want a particular statement to only execute on a particular condition, then I can use this conditional statement. They are highly used during the programming. They are highly used. If and else if and case statement. Okay, so let's discuss this if condition. If condition. So what is if condition? So if is just a conditional statement. Conditional statement. Let me just show you how you are going to use it. So let's comment our program and if statement. I am defining a variable here. Let's say I'm defining a variable LV number and type integer, and I'm giving here a value LV number equals to let's say 30. I'm giving a value here, let's say 30. Now this is how you are going to define a if statement. If LV number equals to 30, then I want to display a statement. Let's say I want to display a output here. Uh, the value of number is 30. The value of number is 30. Every if statement will always end with and if. Every case statement will always end with and case. Same stuff will be there in your entire ABAP programming. If you are starting a particular condition, it will always have a and condition. So here if I let's say I wanted to display that if the value of my number is 30, then and only then this output should be displayed. Then and only then this output should be displayed. So let's see how this thing is going to work. What we will do, I will go for debugging mode. I will put the breakpoint over line 15 and I will go for execute button. And you can see we are at line 15. Now see here guys, if I click on LV number, what is its value? 30, right? 30 has been assigned over here, that is its value is 30. I am at line 15, my compiler is at line 15. So how what this thing is going to do, I am using if statement. So because of this if statement, it will compare the value of this variable with this number. What is the value of this variable? 30. So if 30 equals to 30, that is the condition is true. Then if you will go for F6, see here, where is my compiler now? Line 16, right? Line 16. So it is at line 16, then this write statement will execute and you will see the output. You will see the output. See here, your output is 30. Now let's say I am changing its value. I am changing its value to 20. See here what it is going to work. I will go for activate, I will go for execute, and let's go to debugging mode again at line 15. Now double click on LV number. What is its value? Go for desktop 3 first. What is the value of LV number? 20. What is the value of LV number? 20. Now we are at line 15. My compiler is comparing if 20 equals to 30. No, condition is false. So when you will go for execute button, see here, when you will go for execute button, no output. This write statement was not executed. This write statement was not executed. Is this thing clear?
Yes.
So if condition is
Yes.
false, in between whatever you have passed, it will not execute and this statement will not execute. It can be anything. You can write a query in between, you can write any operation in between, you can display anything. I'm just showing it how this conditional statement actually work, right?
Mhm.
So this is one version of if, that is we are directly comparing something, and if that comparison is true, then based on that we are displaying the output. Now let's say if this comparison is false, I want to display something also. That if it is true, I am displaying 30. But if it is not true, let's say I want to display something. So in that situation, you can use the else statement. This is another version of if else, and in between, let's say I'm displaying here, right? Uh, the number is not 30, or let's say the value of number is not equal to 30. I will activate the program. And let's say again, I'm putting a debugger over line 15. Go for debugging mode now. Just go for debugging mode. I will go for desktop 3 here and double click on LV number. What is its value? 20, right? Its value is 20. Now my compiler will compare. My compiler will compare. Just see here. LV number equals to 30. If LV number equals to 30, no, its value is 20. 20 will never equals to 30. So when I will click on F6 button, just see where this arrow will go. Just see if where is it now? Line 18. Is it in else condition? Right? Is it in else condition? Yes, it is in else condition. Now this statement will execute and you will get this output. So we use if and else in that situation when we want that if one condition is false and we want the else condition should execute. Go for execute button and see the value of number is not equal to 30. But if you will give here the value equals to 30, then this time this statement will execute and you will get this output. Right?
Mhm.
Any confusion?
No.
No.
Okay, so this is the second version of our if statement. Now we have another version. The another version of this if statement says us that if that one condition is not true, we should also check for other condition. That is, let's say I'm giving here value called 40. Now I want that we start checking our condition from 10. The value of number is 10. Okay. If it is not, then we will go for another condition that is called else if. This is the third version of our if statement. So else if number is equal to, let's say 20, then I will display the data for 20. The value of number is 20. Even if it is not true, we will go for another one. Else if LV number equals to 30, then we will display the 31. The number, or sorry, the value of number is 30. Then we will go for another else if condition. LV number equals to 40. Then we will display right. The value of number is 40. And if this condition is also not true, then we will have one last condition, which is else. That is, let's say, wrong number. So we can have this much version. Now see how your code is going to execute. It will start comparing from line 15. If its value is 10, then it will go for this operation and no other statement will execute. Your if will completes its execution. But if its value is not 10, it will go for this one. Now it will compare. Is this value equals to 20? No. Then it will go for next one. Is its value equals to 30? No. Then it will go for next one. If its value is equal to 40, yes, then it will display this thing and your if will complete its execution. So till your condition gets satisfied, it will check every condition, and if there is no true condition, then it will go for else one. One by one it will check every condition. See here, I will put over a debugger. I will go for debugging mode. I will click on desktop 3 and just see how it is going to work. Double click on LV number. What is its value? 40. Is 40 equals to 10? No. So your code will not go for line 16. Your compiler will not go for line 16. Just click on F6. We directly went for line 17. So see here, now we will compare LV number equals to 20, that is 40 equals to 20, no. So if you will click on F6, it will it will not go for line 18, it will directly jump for next condition. Now it will compare 30, again false. It will jump to line 21 now, line 21. Now LV number equals to 40, 40 equals to 40. So when you will click on F6, this will go for this right statement. It will go for line 22. It will go for line 22. You can see here this line 22 will execute and just see the output. Is this thing clear? So three version of if statements are there. You can use them depending upon the requirement. If you have multiple conditions, then you can go for else if. You can have if you have multiple conditions, then you can use this else if. Okay.
Yes.
Yes,
Got
it's
it.
clear.
So LV number equals to 10. You can use this equal to operator, or also you can use EQ. Totally up to you which one you want to use. So this is your if condition. Can you guys see a limitation of this condition? If I ask you a question, if I ask you this question that let's say, if I ask this question that let's say I don't want that all these conditions should execute. I don't want the all these conditions should execute. What I want now is that instead of going for all these conditions, it should directly go for the correct output, right? Is my if will do that? Will this if statement will execute in the same way as I am planning now? No, na. It will go from starting one. It will check this. It will check this. It will check this. But I don't want. What I want is it will directly. It should directly go for the correct one. Is my requirement clear now?
Yes. Is there some kind of case switch statement in ABAP? I'm not sure.
Just wait for that thing. I am
Okay.
asking. We are currently discussing the if one, na.
Mhm.
So what I am telling here is, will my if statement work in that way that I am planning? If I
No,
am, yeah, tell me.
because you will go through all the first if statements until you reach your final condition.
Yeah, until it reach the final condition. So this becomes one of the disadvantage that even if I don't want it to check all other condition, if statement will check for all other condition until it finds the correct one. Okay, until it finds the correct one. So this one is a limitation for it. Now with this limitation, we have our case statement which overcomes this limitation. It will work in the same way as our if statement is working, but a little bit different to that. If you have like 1000 condition like this way, it will directly go for the correct one. And if there is no correct output in your all those condition, it will directly go for the last one, which is else. Okay, it will directly go for the last one, which is else. See here guys how we define our case statement. I will just comment it out. Let's go for case statement. Both are used for same purpose to check the condition, but case is more beautiful and more useful comparing to if statement. Whenever you are required to go for like multiple condition, my suggestion will be just go for case statement. Okay, but Whenever you are required to go for only one or two condition, then there is no meaning of if or case. You can use any one of them. So case statement. So case your number. Case your number. Or you can directly go for case and you can press tab. You see here, tab. By default, your system will suggest this thing, that how we are going to write its syntax. Okay, so here instead of else one, we will have when others. Instead of else, when we will have others. So case, just put your variable name here. Over you want to apply the case. Now when its value is equal to 10, I will display right. The value of number is 10. Now I will go for second one, which is 20. So when the value is 20, we will define it. The value of number is 20. Then we will, let's say, give some more condition. When 30, same way guys, nothing different. When 30, right, the value of number is 30. Now when 40, right, the value of number is 40. And when others, we will display our last value, which is wrong input, or let's say wrong number. Is there something difference in both the syntaxes? Is something different? Just the way of writing, right?
Yes.
They are going to work in the same way, but having one difference. The difference is now it will directly go for the correct one. So see here, my correct is 40. So instead of checking this 10, 20, 30, it will directly go for the 40. If you want to see, just put a debugger over here. Go for execute button. Go for desktop 3 guys and just see. Just press F6. Where is it now? Where is it now? Direct line 40, right? Direct line 40 because it is true and it will display its output. But if you change the value, if you are changing its value, let's say I'm passing 50 and let's say I'm passing 50. So there is no condition for 50 value. What do you think? Where it will go now?
On
Where
the
it will?
others.
Yes, directly for the other. If there is no true condition, it will directly go for the other one. Just press F6 and see. So last value will be displayed now. The last value of your other condition, whatever you have passed, accordingly it will be displayed. Is this thing clear? So which one is more beneficial?
In the
Definitely
case,
the case.
So it again, solving one problem, there can be multiple ways, right? For solving one problems, you can see while we are maintaining tables, we were able to do from AC11, from AC16, from AC16N, and also from SM30. So it totally depends upon the user or developer which choice they are preferring for doing the same task. But the best thing is they should always go for the that particular way which is more useful and which whose efficiency is more high, right? So difference between if and case statement. Difference between if and case statement. So here what we can see is the first one. If we have multiple if condition, if condition, our if statement checks for all the condition until we get a true condition. Until we get a true condition, our if will check for all those conditions. Whereas in case statements, it directly goes to the true condition. It directly goes to the true condition. Is this thing clear? Right? So because of this, can I say that the performance of case statement is high as compared to if statement? The
I would
performance
say
of
so,
case statement, guys, these things all are interview questions, and also I'm explaining this thing that why am I using certain stuff, because there is a
yeah.
huge case of these things. Whenever you will be developing your reports based on the projects, this thing will be very useful for you. They are going to increase the efficiency of your code. So the performance of case statements is more as compared to if statement, right?
Mhm.
So the performance of case statement is more as compared to if statement. So they are conditional statement.